Experience tranquility. Pass into the iris.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Iris Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Yeti. Joining me tonight, we have an entire new team of casters here. We have Specs here. And up here, we have Triage joining us for the first time on the Iris Podcast. Here we have Death Not, familiar face to many of you. And joining us for the first time since Season 3 on the Iris Podcast is BethCon. Welcome, everybody. We're excited to get this thing going, but we do indeed have a loaded cast. But I do really want to give a quick shout out to Tempest wearing their shirt today.
Ooh.
Mostly to my rocking brother, and he knows who he is. So, anyways, let's get this show on the road here with our usual weekly segment, which is Amp It Up. We break down the goings on here in the Tranquility community. Starting off first and foremost, of course, with what did you notice here in week 1 in Tranquility? Specs, what you got?
Yeah, I think this is something that we're really going to see throughout the season, but expectations are going to be shattered this season. I think there's a couple teams we were looking forward to really coming into the season as a potential standout or a potential tier winner who's 0-1 right now. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how teams rebound, how these 1-0 teams kind of play with their egos now, I guess. So, yeah.
All right, Triage, what do you think?
I had a similar thought. A lot of the initial assessments have been proven horribly wrong. And I mean, big shock. Who would have guessed basing your assessment off of a team's logo and name would, be not exactly foolproof. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the season goes.
Death Thought, what do you think?
So, I'm looking forward to how some of these well-known teams, bounce back. Kind of like Holy Jalapenos, Flying Lions, Decapitators. Because some good names took some losses last week.
Definitely interesting to see how everybody comes back here. Beth, what do you think about week 1?
So what I noticed about week 1 is just how high of quality a lot of the teams are and a lot of the matches are. I joined the community back in season 2 as someone who had transitioned from being a full-time Mercy main to, you're playing off tank now, good luck. And I was still able to hold my own and do well. And I feel like if I joined now, I would just get stomped on. The quality of play we're seeing across all 3 tiers has just been fantastic. Can't wait to watch that for the rest of the season.
Right, guys, really quick right now, I see some giveaway entries going in. We have the montage coming up about 2/3 of the way through the podcast. Once that montage starts, giveaway entries end for this giveaway this week. That said, there is another giveaway next week. We are giving away another Tranquility shirt from the Tranquility store, which you can get one, just like Tempest. You can get that at the Tranquility store, shop.spreadshirt.com. Go ahead and check it out. I don't know if you guys know this. There's another sale going on, I think a couple days here. So might be a good time if you missed the first time, go pick up your Trank merch right away. So get that as entries in. Again, at stake, a $100 Amazon gift card is the first prize. The second one is a Tranquility spreadshirt. A Tranquility sweatshirt. And the third one is just a straight T-shirt like we normally do. So get your entries in. If you want to get in that on that $100 gift card, now is the time to do it. We'll be pulling those entries once the montage starts. So be ready for that, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next segment of Amp It Up. What is it that you are looking forward to most coming into week 2 here in the Tranquility community? Go ahead, Specs.
Yeah, so I kind of touched on it on the last point here, but it's really how these 0-1 teams respond to their first loss of the season. Realistically here, there's some 0-1 teams that are fighting for their playoff contention this week. I know it sounds kind of strange at week 2, but the way the tournament is kind of structured and set up, if you place first or second in your tier, you gain automatic qualification to playoffs. So there's some options here for teams that started 0-1 to really come back strong. And gain their playoff spot, 3 weeks from now. So
absolutely. Triage, go ahead.
Similar to what Specs was talking about, it's going to be really interesting to see how the teams who lost last week handle going into this week and everything from here on. Like, the blood's in the water now, and the fire's been lit under their butts. Like, playoff contention is on the line from the get-go with how short these stages are. And I kind of want to see if the more cocky teams who talk big in the Discord and on Twitter can really back up their words, since the other teams are out there trying to win this now.
All right, Death Knot, what do you think?
Yeah, so my last point, I kind of messed up and talked about what I'm looking forward to, but I'm going to roll with it because something I noticed, but this kind of could be something I'm looking forward to. So if we look at like Discord has so many new teams, right? And 7 out of the 12 matches were 4-0s. One of them, only one, went to map 5. Those Flying Lions versus Ragnarok. So I'm looking forward to some of these 4-0 teams, battling it out and getting a little more interesting matches in there.
Beth, what do you think?
So kind of playing off of what Death Knot said, saw that there were a lot of 4-0 matches kind of across the board. Granted, some of those were wins by forfeit and things like that. But one particular tier and one particular section, which was Harmony Orem A, was extremely close across the board. I feel like everybody in that tier is super close with each other. So I'm actually going to be watching all of those games with a lot of interest this week because I feel like they're one of the more well-matched kind of group stages we have right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing kind of how that group all shakes out.
All right, and while we do have some spicy, bold predictions coming up later tonight, let's get into our next bit here, which is either one of two things: a cold, hard truth or a spicy, hot take. Bex, my fellow jalapeno, did you bring something spicy today?
Of course I did. Why else would I be here, Yeti?
True.
I mean,
you don't bring any other redeeming qualities, so we gotta just go with what you're good at.
Exactly. Oh, wait, it is...
Nope.
Is my camera flashing?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay, it looks like I'm back. But I want to talk about, as my spicy hot take here, I want to talk about egos. Keep them in check because they can hurt you, and they will.
Your camera was really flashing, but it's good to have you back. Anyways, go ahead, Triage. What do you got for us here? Spicy hot take or cold?
I mean, I kind of went to a nice middle ground of a lukewarm kind of opinion. For people who, I've seen a lot of posts on Twitter and in the Discord, people talking about the new meta and having to focus on playing the meta with their teams. And I got to tell you, nobody outside of the top teams in Transcendence tier really need to focus on playing this meta to win. It's because the other teams in your tier probably aren't going to be good enough to require you to play this meta comp to the highest level. So if it's something that your team can't run and you're struggling to get down, it's probably better to drop it than to keep hindering yourself trying to play this thing that you can't get down.
It's true. Battalion has PDK, and we know the only hero he plays is Junkrat, and they seem to be doing just fine. So, Death Knot, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm talking about the meta. I mean, this is kind of a cold, hard truth, but maybe doesn't apply as much to Harmony tier. I don't know. Maybe lately, though, I feel like Harmony tier has been getting a lot better. But especially for like the higher tiers, if you're not keeping your team like flexible enough, you're gonna suffer because the meta. There's like so many different viable comps right now for so many maps, and especially like trans tier, you need to at least have maybe 3 to 4 comps that you can kind of be prepared for in each map. So
Beth, go ahead.
All right. So mine was a little bit more targeted than y'all's, and I'm not used to being the most kind of toxic person, I guess.
Don't worry, Specs is here.
You're in the spot.
Fair enough. He's the reason I recruited him. That's the reason I recruited him to the jalapenos, right? So I wouldn't be the most toxic person on the team.
True.
But I'm going to go with kind of, I guess it's a spicy hot take. Flashbacks are absolutely going to dominate and crush stage 1. Then they're going to lose the first game of stage 2 and completely fall apart from there.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
I didn't expect
like
something so blunt.
We lost Specs again.
Specs, your camera's flashing again.
Shit.
It's flashing. Heck.
Yeah, I love seeing the chat responding to Beth here. That's the best part, honestly. I'm enjoying that. That's fun for me.
Wow.
I mean,
The
they
chat.
made okay. Like there is a chance that I am completely wrong. Like they could
Oh yeah.
keep like their team in check. They could keep their mental strong. Like honestly, right now the only team that can beat flashbacks is themselves. And I just see once they hit that kind of higher level of competition, they're going to run into some more obstacles. It might be tougher for them to beat their own kind of mental. If they're able to overcome that, they're going to be unstoppable. But
I do have one spicy hot take, or one cold hard truth. I think that maybe a lot of people need to realize. Teams who are winning games right now, we're really happy for. They basically don't mean anything in about. You have to keep in mind the format is designed to be more rear end or more focus on the end of it, the stage 2 and the playoff. Stage 1 sets you up for stage 2. There's a lot of teams right now who are really confident, who are thinking they're going to steamroll this tournament from the get-go. They've mastered the Sigma ball comp, or they're mastering double bubble, or they're mastering now Sombra Reaper Rush, or whatever they're going to be playing. I got bad news for y'all. Experimental patches are coming out about every month right now.
Yep.
What you're playing today is going to be meaningless in 2 months. Simple facts, the game is going to change. The teams that come out on top aren't the teams that are mastering one comp today, or have that really good ball player, or have that one really good player on hit scan who's flexing to Reaper, who is just dominating right now. Guys, the team that's going to win is the team that is best mental, best team play, and has the best game knowledge. You master those things. If you know how to play Overwatch, not just play a comp or play a hero, you know how to play the game of Overwatch in a macro sense, you're a lot better off than you are being one of those teams who masters one comp. So learn Overwatch, not a comp. All right. Let's
I
get
think
this.
that's the spiciest take you've had so far, Yeti. Learn Overwatch. Just learn it.
To wonder why I invited you back here. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit here, which is the Iris Top 5. The top 5 as voted on by your podcast analysts. This week, guys, we start in the Harmony tier. I'm sorry, the Transcendence tier. Pardon me. We're starting in the Transcendence tier. Last week, we saw Dirt on the top of the Transcendence tier list. This week, we don't see them at all. We start off at number 5 with Tempest. Number 4 with the Whirlwind Wildcats. 3 is Corvidity. 2 is God Hand, and number 1 is the Ghostly Peppers, off the heels of their preseason championship and feature match win over Caprophobia. Specs, I want you to pick one team that is not currently in this top 5. Who is a team that's not there right now, who you think should be there?
You know what? This team snuck so far under my radar, they didn't even make my top 5. So that's how deep into this I'm going. I'm actually going with Heatwave. They're one of the only teams that went 4-0 last week with a very convincing win over Ace Advantage. The way that team looks structured and the way they kind of have their roster built, it's very intriguing. I'm liking what I see out of them. So I think they're a team to watch for you.
All right, let's take it up to the Discord tier now. Number 5 is Q for Quarantine. Number 4, Joey Esports. Number 3, SEAL Team Spuds. Number 2, Blizzard Bears. And number 1, the preseason champs, Ragnarok. One's definitely interesting. Not a whole lot of changes here. Death Knot, you're a member of this Discord tier. What team outside of this top 5 do you see that's going to be stepping in soon? Is kind of snubbed on this list right now.
I got to go with Flying Lions. They took Ragnarok to map 5, which is, Ragnarok's number 1 right now. Everybody, saw what they did in the preseason. The Lions, they're a strong, tight-knit team. A lot of individual talent. They've got Lazuli on hit scan. They got Shady B, Cinnamon. They're really good at enabling their DPS. If they can set Laz up, he's really, really hard to stop. So I could see them getting in this list later on for sure.
And there's a lot of good teams that has been pointed out on this, not on this list. You have Nya, preseason runner-up. They look fantastic. You have Flying Lions, who we've already discussed. Atlas Arcadia got off to a really strong start. Mechanized looks to be a pretty strong team as well. There's teams on this that I haven't even mentioned right now. Soul Cyberpunks did not look very. I mean, they were up against Q for Quarantine. They looked pretty competitive against Q for Quarantine. Mob Mentality is still out there. We haven't even begun talking about Mob Mentality. You know, there's Reminiscence is there too, guys. There's so many good teams in the Discord tier. I think the Discord tier is the team with the most parity. We're gonna see a lot of movement in that tier. So let's go to the Harmony tier now, and the Harmony tier list is as follows. We have Strix at number 5, Doodles at number 4, Modify at number 3, the Koala Kings at number 2, and your number 1 team remains the preseason champion, the Flashbacks. All right, Beth, is there one team outside of this top 5 besides the Jalapenos who is snubbed on this list?
Yeah, so choosing a like 6th place or whatever for this was really tough because I feel like once you get past those top 5 teams, it's kind of anybody's game at this point. But I ended up having to give it to the Jetpack Cats. Just the Yoon-Oh DPS line can be so strong. They're like, oh, what else did I write down? Oh, both of them have been all-stars. Yoon was a 1v1 champion. They just have a lot of strength there. And I feel like as the team continues to play together, they've got a lot of good leadership. They're going to just grow and get better and get stronger. And one of the teams on the top 5, Strix, Jetpack Cats almost swept them this week. That's a very strong team, and they put up a really good showing against them. So I think they deserve to be sitting in that, I guess, top 5, number 6 spot.
Again, and you have so much variety, so many great teams sitting on the outside looking in right now. We haven't even talked about Void at all.
They were on my list too.
Yeah. Phantasmal, Valkyrie, these are all good-looking teams we haven't even begun to scratch the surface. Again, very competitive tier. I know a lot of people are looking at Flashbacks and saying, who's going to beat them? Valid question right now because nobody has beaten them, but at the same time, a lot of teams lining up ready to take their shot. So we'll see what happens moving forward here. Last question about these top 5s. It goes to you, Triage. Which of these top 3 teams, we talked about Flashbacks, we talked about Ragnarok, we talked about Ghostly Peppers, what do you expect is the most likely to stay in that top spot for the remainder of the season?
Well, I have to give it to Ragnarok as being the only team that's currently number 1 that I can see keeping that spot. With the coach of the Natter OW, like the former T2 coach, who's an incredible educational streamer. Like, I cannot see... Like, I can't in all good consciousness expect them to falter at any point. Even if the egos begin to get in the way or anything like that, Natter's experience as a coach is going to be enough to drag them back and get them in line. He's going to know how to teach them and get them back going. So I don't think Ragnarok is going to fall from that spot for the entire season.
Ragnarok is a very well-built team and a very, very well-coached team. So we'll see what happens with them throughout the remainder of the season, as well as all these top 5s. If you have an issue with top 5s, feel free to tag any one of these guys on Twitter. I'm sure they would love to ignore you. Again, Montage is coming up very soon here, guys. If you have those giveaway entries, get them in ASAP because the entries will be closed for this week's giveaway once that montage starts. The moment the montage starts. So if you're late, sorry. Break it to you. All right, let's get to some bold predictions. We got a lot of relatively fresh faces to the Iris podcast team here, so nothing is better than having them say something that everybody gets angry about. Let's get this thing going here. We're going to start in the Transcendence tier. Now, what a bold prediction is, for those of you who don't understand what that means, first of all, go to school. Second of all, bold prediction means it's a prediction where you're really going on a limb. You're standing by a pretty bold opinion, perhaps a little brave, maybe a little stupid opinion, but you're going for it. You're making a claim that you think, man, this could be really awesome. This could be really big. I'm going to put my reputation on the line. So Specs, start us off in the Transcendence tier. Put your reputation on the line, guys. What do you think? What is your Transcendence tier bold prediction?
Well, first of all, I want to start off by saying this is not my first bold prediction. The other 3 hosts here, it is their first one. So I'm actually going to let the real spicy takes go to those 3 today. So I'll keep it pretty mild. But so I actually have Heatwave, the team I discussed earlier, the team that won 4-0 last week. They will be the winners of Indigo Pool B and face the Ghostly Peppers in the Indigo Finals. So I see absolutely no way either of these 2 teams do not get to that point. Obviously, having a little bit of association with the Ghostly Peppers, I guess that's kind of there. But just seeing how both of these rosters are really structured and from the top to bottom, there's some names on the on Heatwave that really should be looking out for, including Grant and Calerio. I'm not going to be saying that right. It's the tank and the support player of that team. 2 highest individually rated SR players, and just kind of looking at their gameplay, it's something that you can really tell their cohesiveness is going to take them to the next level. And obviously the Ghostly Peppers are the Ghostly Peppers. They've been kind of around together for 3 seasons or so now. So yeah, I have these 2 teams coming out in the Indigo Finals. The winner of that will be winning the Transcendence tier.
All right, we do have a poll going live right now for those of you who are looking. There is a poll that is actually just wrapping up, but we're letting you guys have an opportunity to respond to this. Looks like about 2/3 of the community thinks you might be a little crazy, but honestly, 1/3 of the community saying Heatwave versus Ghostly Peppers.
It's about 1/3 more than I normally get.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think anybody would take that. So, all right, Triage, let's go with your Transcendence tier opinion.
My Transcendence tier opinion is that God Hand will have a great regular season run, and then will lose in round 1 of the playoffs. I'm going to go even further to say they're going to lose 4-0 in round 1 of the playoffs.
Wow.
The hand of God will not be enough to carry them through to the finals.
Interesting. What is leading to that opinion? Are you thinking they might just phone it in, or what's going on with that thought?
I'm thinking they're a very well-known powerhouse of a team. I feel like the egos might get in the way, as Specs may have alluded to earlier. And I think they're going to be a little overconfident going into the playoffs. And it's just going to bite them round 1. So, I'm not holding out hope that the hand of God's going to make it.
God Hand came into the season with a lot of hype, a lot of people talking them up on Twitter. The poll is going right now. If you guys want to get in on that voting and just let us know what you think. Looks like a lot of people are siding with you on this one, that God Hand ain't all it cracked up to be, according to this polling here. Over 2/3 are saying they'll either be, you're exactly right, or they won't make it that far. So I also do see Minnie and Marf in this chat basically saying, "Oh, they don't know. They don't know." So
I'll just say giving Marf energy, not smart.
Yeah, don't give Marf competitive energy. That's a very dangerous thing. So, Marf left the team.
Oh,
well, you know what? Then I guess they're screwed. They're screwed. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, no, Marf's gone. We're fine. So, all right, Death Knot, let's get to your Transcendence tier prediction.
All right, look, this is super biased, but whatever. Decapitators. So they were rolling last week. They looking like they were grabbing the win, and they got reverse swept. They're mad about it, right? They're gonna take that energy, and they're not gonna drop a map in their next 2 games versus Poison Hazard and Alpha. They're just gonna roll through both those games like nobody's business.
Right. So Death Knot feeling confident about the Decapitators rallying from a rough start here against Blitzies.
I'm in their Discord. They're upset about it, man. They're ready to
I mean, it's true. They are. That's right. They have matches coming up against both Poison Hazard and Alpha. Alpha team with a lot of hype behind it. Poison Hazard, newcomer to the community. Poll is up and running, and by God, the Starchy Faith is So that is not a good sign for the Starch fans in the world. So that said, about over 90% are disagreeing with that thought. So we'll see who comes out on top. That is going to be an interesting one. So, all right, Beth, what do you think here?
So biased Beth coming on through. I picked Ghostly Peppers for my team that I'm making a bold prediction about, and I'm going to predict that they are going to be undefeated the entire run.
Undefeated stage,
playoffs, everything. They're going to be undefeated the whole way through. This last game, like they were running off rolls and they were still rolling a team last week. Like they're scary good on basically anything that they decided to run. So until I see a team that can beat them, I'm in their corner all the way. Granted, again, biased Beth is biased, but they're scary, and they're scrimming up to like 4.2K. Like
biased Beth,
they're a team to watch out for.
Biased Beth is a real thing. But Ghostly Peppers, I mean, the pedigree is there, given what they did last season in the Discord tier. But taking a look here, looking at the polling, there's a lot of Discord tier or Transcendence tier players in this chat right now who are spamming that no button. So I can't imagine why. But looks like the polling is going pretty heavily against Beth there on this one. We're going to roll it on now to the Discord tier as 75% votes against Beth on that one. But that does say 25% of the community does agree. Ghostly Peppers are legit. They could win the whole
I think that's just Chim and Needle spamming it. So
That's fair. Honestly, that's probably true. All right. Specs, go ahead with your Discord tier bold prediction.
Can't hear him.
Oh, yeah, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Why would anything go correctly today? Beautiful. All right. So this is a bit of a go with me here. Little bit to this one, but it'll make sense once we get to the end. So I'm saying that the winner of Aram, I can't ever say that correctly. Let's say that's sure. Pool B.
Sure.
So the winner of that pool will lose to the second place team in that pool in the playoffs. So hypothetically, Ragnarok win the pool right now. Atlas Arcadia will finish second. They will go on to beat them in the playoffs. So hypothetically, it can be one way or the other. But I think a lot of people are underlooking Atlas Arcadia at this point in time. There's a lot of really, really, really strong players on that team with Trank experience, with tournament experience in general, who are going to know how to kind of click it on in the playoffs. And as much as, I'll bring back the coaching discussion in Trank. How much does a coach really affect someone at a 3,200 level? You can lead a horse to water, but can you make the horse drink? And I think the more individually skilled players will come back and win it in the end.
I'm sorry, what?
Mm-hmm. Did anyone else follow? Because I'll take one yes.
No, I got you.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Atlas is underrated for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. Hey, I knew that was
I mean that might be going kind of far, but Atlas is good.
That's more
40,
Atlas is good.
40 Chesh. We'll this clip will look great. Hopefully.
All right. Let's move along then. Triage, your Discord opinion. Go ahead.
My Discord opinion is that Q for Quarantine will have a great playoffs run and then lose in the finals 4-0.
Finals 4.
Yes, they're making it all the way to the finals and will just get swept in the finals. Simply because their opposition will have been vaccinated by then and the quarantine will be lifted. It's perfectly fitting for the 2020-2021 anime season we've all kind of lived in.
All right.
So you made this bold prediction simply for the dad joke? I honestly have so much respect for that. I think people should spend bits to agree with that, because that's a good blow. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Sticking by it.
For
I picked
sure.
them as my number one team last week. I think they got it.
Yeah, I agree. Just based on the joke alone, I think it's worth it. All right. Anyways, that was a good one. My God, that was way better and easier to understand than the other thing that one guy said.
No, not wrong.
All right. Go ahead, Death Knot.
Wait.
Well, we're looking at Harmony, right?
Discord.
Discord. I did Flying Lines.
Did you fall asleep during Specs' thing too?
Maybe. Yeah.
Because...
I like it just my brain's I'm still trying to figure it out. But no, Flying Lines. Flying Lines is gonna go undefeated rest of the stage. It's another like redemption. I had the decaps, they got reverse swept. That was real sad. And Flying Lines are hungry, man. I think they're underrated as hell. They're all the matches they've got coming up. We saw what they did against Ragnarok. Amazing team. They almost took it. The rest is just going to be a breeze. So undefeated rest of the stage.
You have 4 good matches coming up against Mob Mentality, Outlast, Scarlet Lions, and Atlas Arcadia. Those are some tough games. Those are not gimmies by any means. So, but I do agree. Flying Lions are a really question about.
Some of those might be close, but it's going to happen.
And real quickly, I do want to say Flying Lions can complete that arc that I just talked about. It's not just Atlas Arcadia. There's a couple teams in that tier that can kind of go with this. Jack got it. Jack got it, people. He's smart.
All right. Go ahead, Beth, with your Discord tier bold prediction.
All right, so I went a lot more micro on this one. My prediction is SEAL Team Spuds, specifically D-Wang. Is it Dwang or D-Wang?
I want it to be. I want it to be
D-Wang.
D-Wang, but it's
I
Dwang.
want it to be D-Wang.
It's
Dwang.
Dwang.
Okay.
It's Dwang, but I
So-
really want it to be D-Wang.
I don't know. It's on a roster sheet.
I'm gonna call him
But-
that every scrim from now on. Thank you, Beth. Appreciate it.
Yo. So Dwang, I'm saying that so dude locked in very, very high SR, 3490. He's already climbed like 200 or 300. He's 3628 right now. Last time I checked Overbuff. Don't know if that's up to date. That said, my prediction is he's going to hit GM by the end of the season and be a strong candidate for MVP.
The D-Wang D-Train is
I'm never going to live this down.
hyping up right now.
D-Wang.
And the question is will Dwang from the SEAL Team Spuds hit GM and be a strong contender for MVP, or as NPC put in the poll, is he boosted? So Death Knight, you're a teammate of Dwang's. Is he boosted?
No, honestly, D-Wang, he kills it, man. I see him solo in comp a lot, so.
This is why the podcast is great, everybody, because we just created a meme.
God damn it.
Brilliant.
D-Wang deserves that praise. Absolutely.
And in one fell swoop, Dwang is a train celebrity.
I'm so sorry.
Are you-
I'm so
are you
sorry.
saying- Are you saying that we should worship the Wang Death Knight?
No.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
No, we're part of the Wang gang now. Don't you
Oh, no.
understand?
D-Wang for MVP.
We're part of the Wang gang. So, all right. I think we've now peaked, everyone. We have now peaked
This
as
is
a
highbrow
podcast.
comedy.
And
D-Wang's peaking too.
and I'm pretty sure that I need to be done. Because I think we
It's a
just
family
peaked.
show, guys.
This is a family. I see. Normally, I'm able to keep my composure and keep things moving. I can't right now. This is just the D-Wang gang is just too good to believe. It's just too powerful.
It might be
right now.
enough for him to be MVP.
It's right there. The D-Wang
It
gang.
might be.
This
All
might be
right.
enough.
All right.
Fine.
All right.
Everybody's gonna ride the Dwang train.
All right, let's get this thing going. Let's go to the next thing here. Oh God! All right, go to the Harmony tier now. Specs, Harmony tier. Bold prediction: can you beat the Wang train?
I mean,
I'm so
no,
sorry.
no, I can't.
Oh my God, man.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh.
The podcast has become the heavy breathing cast because that's all that's happening right now. Oh my God!
Okay.
I'm like,
All right,
amazing.
let's recover, composure, everybody. We're gonna run these. We're running. All right, here we go. All right,
Ooh.
all right, let's go, Specs.
So, this is another go with me here, but not as big of a go with me. So it'll make sense. I promise. A team that started 0-1 will be in the finals of the Harmony tier. Now, there's a couple teams here that I could really focus on. I have a strong feeling potentially one of these other teams will be talked about later. Just a thought. But I'm actually gonna bring up the Hanamura Hellcats, which to my surprise, about I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes ago, are not associated with the Hanamura Hellhounds, which threw me through a loop. But I looking at this team, they have two coaches. They have a couple players who seem to be towards the higher end of the SR rank in the Harmony tier. And as much as we want to talk about SR, doesn't really matter on important roles like support, like main tank. Having a higher SR player in the Harmony tier matters. And I think with Coffee and Jack on this roster, with the coaches they have there, they can really turn it around and potentially surprise some people in the finals.
Yeah, stop
Totally
laughing about D-Wang.
I can't stop. All right, go ahead, triage.
We're not... All right. So this is the season. The Fighting Potatoes will make the playoffs.
All right. Let's go, man. I'm with that.
Not saying win it all. They're gonna make it. I believe it's time for the Spuds. Why isn't everybody with me?
Well
Because it was
we made it there season what, 3? 4?
4?
Yeah. 4? Yeah. I was
Yeah,
there.
but now you got to do something with it.
Yeah.
You got to make it again.
I'm not with them anymore, so I can't help them.
You can yell at them. You're in the org. Just kick open the Discord door and fucking scream at them.
Well, they're scrimming right now. Hold on. I'll go in there. I'll go in
go
there.
join the
I'm going to
org.
go in there really quick live and just tell them really quick.
Good.
You guys won't hear anything, but I'm going in there live. Hey guys, down the podcast, they needed to say that you guys are going to make the playoffs and you guys are going to do really good. And now I'm here to tell you that. Okay, any thoughts? All right, I'll say hi. I'll say hi for you guys. All right, bye. All right, I'll say, yeah, they say hi. Okay, cool. All right. So
They also
So
think
motivating.
they were in the middle of a team fight when I did that, just so you know. All right, let's move on then. Yeah, I actually went in there. There's people in the chat who can confirm this. That wasn't just a lie.
That's fantastic.
Death Knot, go ahead.
Okay. So so me and Beth don't agree on flashbacks apparently, because I'm gonna go ahead and say flashbacks aren't gonna drop a map for the rest of the stage. They're schmoving, man. They ain't gonna stop. We saw what they did in the preseason. They're not exactly the championship team that they were last season. The only returning champ is was it Apathy? But this new team they've put together, they're still championship material, man. We can agree on D-Wang, but we're not going to agree on flashbacks. Thank you so much for the D-Wang, by the way.
I'm so sorry.
It's just the best.
The flashbacks not moving or not. So I know the poll says not losing a single point against Boo. What Death Knot is actually saying is not losing a single point all season. Literally sweeping.
No, for the rest of the stage.
For the rest of the stage.
All
For the rest
all
of the stage.
season?
Oh, then we do
All
agree because I said they were
season,
going to roll the stage, and
Right,
then next stage they
right.
were going to
Oh.
struggle.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
okay.
true.
I thought you were
That's
So
true.
we're on the same page here.
That's true.
Okay,
That's
never-
true. You're on the same page.
We got the we agree on D-Wang, we agree on flashbacks for the most part, So yeah.
All right. The poll is up and running here. It looks like a lot of people are thinking, you know what? Hey, they ain't so good. You can take a point off them. We'll try. Because I played
Do
them
it.
last week, guys, and you
You
guys
won't.
think it's so easy. You won't. You won't.
Mm-mm.
If you're the main tank, you will spend the entire match hacked. That's right. Beginning to end, you will be hacked. You will hate everything, especially specs. You will hate everything. It sucks playing against the flashbacks.
Daddy,
It's
deep
not
breathing.
fun.
Deep breathing.
Dwayne Gang. All right, Dwayne Gang, composure, go. All right, Beth, go ahead.
All right. So my prediction, bold prediction for the Harmony tier is that one of the two teams in the finals match will be Void. So they're not a team that we've talked about a whole lot, but they were really, really strong last season. They've got 4 returning players. Their captain, Dire Raven, Shadow Shane, Shadow, and then Lala Lolo / Sweaty Asian. Lala Lolo, I was going to say he's been skirting the edge of Diamond, but I think he posted today he hit Diamond. So he's a really strong player on their team. I remember playing against him last year, and he was great. So I am feeling like he's got a good chance to kind of keep making those leaps forward, making those improvements, and be one of the strongest forces leading his team to victory. And I'm going to predict Void is going to be one of the teams in the finals. Circuitous. We bring it full circle.
Great prediction there about Void. Void, a very often overlooked team, was overlooked a lot last season, had a great run to end the season on. Void, a very, very good team. So, anyways, moving on now. Looks like the polling is a little split on this one. The poll's about 2-1 in favor of, well, why not my team? Well, it's because we don't have time to talk about your team. 72 of you have all day. We're too busy talking about, gang.
Yeah.
So
You've got a copy pasta going.
we sure do. We sure do.
Oh,
The copy pasta has begun. So, all right. Anyways, moving on. Let's get to the next segment here because I've honestly lost it because of the fucking Dwang gang. But anyways, all right,
So
guys.
happy
All right,
about
guys.
this.
So that is the end of bold predictions. We are gonna do one thing before the montage because I didn't give you any lead in into the montage. And again, at the beginning of the montage, that is when that is when the giveaway entries end. The giveaway entries end at the beginning of the montage. So once then the giveaways will move to next week's giveaway. Get your giveaway entries in now if you want to be part of this bigger one that is going on right now. Okay? Good. Just making sure we all have that very clear. But anyways, what we're going to talk about right now is something that's really important to the community. It is called the Tranquility Hall of Fame. It was put in place in Season 4 as a way to honor the people who helped build this community up. For those of you who don't know, the Tranquility community started as a really small tournament that was designed basically for gold players. How we got our start. Season 1, we had 12 teams. 3 of them folded pretty quickly. Kind of a sad little season. We only had about 150 people in the Discord. Tournament life really wasn't that strong. You know, thankfully we had a lot of these people here who really helped this community thrive and grow. The Hall of Fame was a way of ours to pay respects to those who helped build this place up. It wasn't as much of a way of just saying, hey, you're a great player who really played the game of Overwatch very well. Or hey, you really did a lot as a staff member for it's paying tribute to a lot of people all at once. Damn it, NPC. I didn't have the poll down. I forgot to take the poll down. Right. I had it. I was fine until you did that, NPC. All right. Anyways, moving on.
It's so good.
So the Tranquility Hall of Fame was our way of paying a lot of respect and honoring those who really helped build this place up from the very humble beginnings that we did have to where we are now. 2,500 people in our Discord, 72 teams in 3 tiers of competition. We're attracting attention, sponsorship attention to be able to run open tournaments, hosting open division level teams, or opening not just open division, but contenders trials and contenders level teams. It's a fantastic drive and fantastic amount of work that has gone into building this place up, and every single person currently in the Hall of Fame is no small part of that. So really quick, for those of you who don't know who is currently in the Hall of Fame, these were voted on back in Season 3 and in Season 4. The current class, in Season 3, we had Nerdables, Dunzo. They were on the Season 1 Havoc team that was such a huge part of this community for so long. They've both been very, very active parts of the community as well as Velzen and Orsted. Again, both very active since Season 1 here in the Tranquility community. Huge parts of our initial growth. Season 4 ended up being opened up to more current staff members, current players. We have Impers, who's the current Discord tier assistant director, also helped pioneer the comms check, was the first person to create the comms check for us, and basically ran those for the first 2 seasons in Season 3 and Season 4, did a fantastic job. Courage, huge part of that, the Havoc organization as well, has been a very active member of the community. Specs, Thug, been around since Season 1, Harmony tier director, longtime admin, longtime kind of bastion of the community. Cavalier needs no introduction. He's the reason why we're all here, and he is the reason why this community continues to thrive. NPC again needs no introduction. We all know him very well. He has done countless things for the community. And then some guy at the very end who will remain named because I must keep my ego in check. As a member of the Dwang gang, we don't let our egos take over at any point. So basically, check your egos at the door. You got to focus on the grind. All right. Anyways, let's talk about your Hall of Fame nominees. Now, these are the nominees for the Hall of Fame that's being voted on by members of the Tranquility staff, as well as longtime community contributors who are not currently staff. They will be voting on these people. Basically, they can vote for as many as they feel deserve it. And if you receive over 2/3 the vote, or 2/3 of the ballots vote for you, you get in. It's just like Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame. If you know anything about that, that's a good reference point. That's a sport. All right. But anyways, yeah, so let's get into your nominations for this season's Hall of Fame class. The nominees are Vila, Needle, Whitmitten, Door, Shamanzi, HQC, Arise, Zuby, Captain Jack, Hayden, Bard, Cryptic, Ice, Bethcon, Sneaky Kittens, Triage, Booth, Cinnamon, Juke, Rocket, Sir Andy, Marf, Mixed Ready, and Crispy. Those are all of the nominees this season here for the Hall of Fame. We are planning on doing these Hall of Fame classes every 2 seasons, guys. So we just wanted to, these nominees were chosen just basically by the admin staff, just people who we thought deserved a shout out for their contributions to the community. There's a lot of people here who have been here since season 1. There's a lot of people here who have been here for maybe just a couple seasons. But the impact they've all had, either in the way they play the game, or the way they've influenced the community, or the way they run their organizations, run their teams, has all had a very positive impact on the community. So at the very minimum, we do need to say thank you to all these people who are on this list, because this place would not be the same without you. But not all of you will be chosen as members of the Hall of Fame. There will be a select pile of you guys who will be. We will be announcing one person entering the Hall of Fame every week until that list is exhausted of people who end up getting voted in. So we will be taking care of that and starting that next week. So look forward to your first Hall of Fame announcement next week. We will be excited to show that. If you're wondering what you get for being a member of Hall of Fame, we're for fun community. What the hell do you think we're going to give you?
Hey, you get the honor of being in the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah, exactly.
You get D-Wang's autograph.
Yeah,
I'll get it for you. I'll make sure he gets it for you.
You do get a role in the Discord. That is the one. You do get the gold name in the Discord, and you also, if you're a streamer, we leave your name. You leave your stream in the streamer channels, even if you're not an active player. That's basically it. But we're for fun, free communities.
I'm gonna need those votes. I want that autograph.
So, all right. So votes are already being tabulated and casted on that, guys. So we're excited to announce that. We'll start announcing it next week. Let's get into the montage here right now. We're gonna count down from 5 because there are people who haven't submitted their entries yet. We're gonna let them enter them now. But you see, my hand is counting down from 5, and as it continues to count down, you won't be able to enter in the giveaway anymore. But then,
Kite a 1v4 on point. Banano comes out into the Doom, able to get 2 picks. Luis absolutely zoning them with the Winston. Hugely coming out. Now just finding that 5K once again. And a on that Doom pick. What an amazing nano.
protects my heart. There's a voice that is calling. It's calling for me to go beyond where I've always been longing. I'm longing to find where I belong. Soon this fight will come to an end. The Valkyrie shows to defend. I can promise I won't cry. To impress her, it's too damn hard. To say I love you without going too far. If I see her, I can promise I won't cry. To impress her, it's too damn hard. To say I love you without going too far. If I see her, I can promise I won't cry.
Hi.
Everybody. Welcome back.
Hey.
Here. Thanks again to Vila for that montage. I know some people were probably like, "Hey, where are the names on it?" We had a technical issue. Names didn't get on there. We will have the names in the next one for certain. So we do have a couple of announcements before we have the giveaway winners announced here. But we will go ahead first with just a couple quick announcements. We'll have predictions and then a couple of announcements. So we're going to start with the lock of the week. For those of you, again, who just tuned in for the first time, lock of the week is a prediction that the casters have where they're like, yep, this one's happening. I know it. There's no way this team's going to lose. I stake my reputation on it. There's no chance this team is losing this week. So we do have some people who are not here tonight who are putting out their lock of the week. NPC pick the Fighting Potatoes 3-1 over Game of Thrones. Harmony Giant 4-0 Phantasmal over Rebirth. Booth 4-0 Flashbacks over Boop. Cap Jack 4-0 Blizzard Bears over Aphelion. And Bard 4-0 Corvidity over Ember. Those are the locks of the weeks, as predicted by the casters who aren't here. But as for the casters who are here, really quick, Specs, who do you got?
Oh yeah, who do I have?
Did you forget?
Vanguard Esports. I have Vanguard Esports. They're gonna win 3-1 over whoever they play this week. I forgot to copy.
That would be
Of
Get
course
Off
it
My
would.
Land. So-
Yes. Oh, that's why I did it. Okay, that
Okay.
makes sense.
All right. Specs with the vote of confidence for Get Off My Land. Triage, your lock of the week.
I have it written down. I picked Battalion winning 3-1 because I can't look at Battalion and think they don't have a chance of winning. They have a lot of explosive potential.
That's a PDK joke, isn't it?
It was easy.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Set up the easy jokes.
All right, there you go. Death Knot, go ahead.
Man, Ragnarok 4-0. Come on.
The Ragnarok 4-0 might be a trend.
How could you pick anybody? Like, eventually, nobody's going to be able to pick them, right?
All right. Beth, who do you got here this week?
I picked Atlas Arcadia 3-1. Again, one of those teams that looked really strong last week that I think a lot of people are sleeping on.
Mine, I went with the Jersey Boys on this one. It is going to be a pretty quick 4-0, I think. I think they're angry after last by feeling under. They're a good team. They're a really good team. They were really good last season. They're better now. So not sleep on the Jersey. Let's get to the upsets of the week here, guys. Upsets of the week. These are upsets based on the predictions Tranquility Discord that you guys made. These are the upsets that we are predicting to happen. So here's some of the upsets that our panelists picked so far. NPC picked Ultraviolet 3-1 over the Jetpack Cats. What kind of cat dad are you, NPC? All right. Captain Jack picks Gannicus 3-2 over Jersey Boys. Harmony Giant picks Firefight 3-2 over Modify. Booth 3-2 Maelstrom over Strix. And Bard 3-1 Aurora taking down X-Ray. Good looking upsets there. Let's get to Specs. Who do you got in your upset of the week?
Yeah, so obviously we've been talking about one team a lot during the show, and I can't stand for propping up of individuals. So with that said, I have Mob Mentality beating Flying Lions this week. I think they're a team that isn't really getting talked about, and I want to say with good reason because there's not a ton of familiarity with that roster right now. But I think looking at it and really kind of understanding where Flying Lions is at, I think Mob Mentality can actually pull this off this week.
All right, Triage, go ahead.
I'm picking Ranch Revolution to win this 3-1 this week. I was a huge DDR fan back in the day. Played it in an arcade. Had Supernova on PS2. Incredible game. And I can't, in all consciousness, not pick Ranch Revolution to beat the Drop Bear Monarchy.
All right, Death Knot, who do you got?
I'm with you, Triage. Ranch. Not only is that like one of the coolest logos I think we've seen in Trank so far, but I'm gonna go 3-2. Koala Kings, they're really really good. I think Ranch like not only is the logo and the name just chef's kiss. I think the team's underrated. I think they're I think they're going to take this and I think they're going to run with the momentum and keep going. So
the U word is in play, everyone. For those of you participating in the Iris Podcast drinking game, if you are of legal age and responsible, that is when you drink. And Beth, go ahead with your upset of the week.
Yeah, so for my upset of the week, I went for Exidium over Caprophobia. Exidium had a really, we don't know a whole lot about them, and Caprophobia I know is going through some shakeups right now, so I think that's going to be a 3-1 win for Exidium this week.
One for Exidium over Caprophobia. I personally went with a team that I'm surprised is being picked as an upset, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, and that was Alpha. Seeing Alpha voted, and this is against a team that is Tempest, but it's 41-13 in the polling, and that's a shame because I think Alpha squeaks this one out. I think Alpha wins it 3-1. Alpha's a really good team. I think there's a legitimate case that Alpha could be one of the top 3. And no offense against Tempest, I love Tempest, top 3 team right now. So I think Alpha wins pretty close. But hey, we don't pick the predictions, and those aren't set in stone. We play the games for a reason, guys. And that's why we're going to look forward to this week's action. We have a lot of exciting action this week. Couple real quick announcements. Event week is right around the corner, and I know a lot of you guys are waiting for that. Event week is a ton of fun. We raise so much money for Rise Above the Disorder during that time. Rise Above the Disorder, a fantastic organization providing mental health resources to those who are unable to afford them. Last season, we raised over $3,200 for Rise Above the Disorder in this event week. It was a fantastic event. We are so excited to have this happen again. A lot of the same events are happening. We're still going to do podcasts or 1v1s. You make a donation to reach a certain threshold, challenge a podcaster of your choice to the 1v1 on the hero of your choice. We have the Widow 1v1 tournament, always a fantastic crowd pleaser. Widow, headshots only, 1v1. You can't beat it, guys. You just can't beat it. We have the Torbjorn Hammer only brawls. Always a good time, always fun. A little ridiculous, and a lot of voice lines.
You gotta come for my championship.
Yeah, you gotta come for Death Nuts Championship. Then we also have, of course, the 2v2 elimination. For those who sweat a little bit harder, 2v2 elimination tournament. Last but not least, we are adding a new tournament into this. This will be rolled into our Wednesday festivities. We're adding Ana Paintball, and I know a lot of people love Ana Paintball when they get to play it on in the custom game lobbies. Now you get an opportunity to finally play it here in Shrank. So we'll be doing an Ana Paintball tournament. For those who win an event, you get a Tranquility shirt first, right away. You get something from the store right away, shirt of your choice. In addition to that, we're going to be putting up a $50 at minimum right now. There might be more, but right now we're sitting on a $50 Amazon gift card that will be drawn from a pool of the winning players who will receive, one of them will receive the $50 Amazon gift card. So there are prizes at stake here, guys. It's a lot of fun. So make sure you get into these events. It's a good opportunity. Every team has an opportunity to be represented. Let's raise some money for a really cool cause doing it. Last announcement before we get to the giveaways, weather-related issues. Guys, it is extremely dangerous in some parts of the country right now. We are not ignorant to that. We know a lot of people out there have questionable power situations, questionable internet situations, and in some cases are needing to leave their home or try to find someplace else to get warm because they don't have power and it's below zero where they are, or whatever the situation is. There's a lot of dangerous situations out there. We know that. If you're on a team where there is that situation happening, just make sure your team is communicating with the Tranquility staff. We are definitely here to listen, here to help, here to find any way to make sure your match this week goes off without a hit or go off without any hit. Just make sure to communicate with us. The last thing we want to have happen is for you to come out, 8:25 on match day, say, we have 4 people without power. Well, the storm is like the only thing people are talking about right now. So how do you not expect this? So just be safe, everybody.
And D-Wang.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about D-Wang.
Be safe and make sure to communicate with us about both D-Wang and the weather situation. All right, enough yammering. Let's get to those giveaways, guys. We have 3 giveaways up for grabs here, and the names have been drawn for this week's prizes here, and here they are. We're gonna start with the smallest prize. But your winner of the Tranquility shirt of their choice from the Tranquility store is Sadfire. Congratulations to Sadfire. Will be receiving the Tranquility shirt of their choice. Next on the list here is the hoodie. And by the way, these were chosen in reverse order, so prize. Yeah. Anyways, move on. The hoodie from the Tranquility store will go to somebody who goes crazy. That's right, Poochie will receive the hoodie from the Tranquility store of his choice. And by the way, they are really nice hoodies. I know
They are.
I know Poochie isn't currently playing in Trank. I know he's an alumni, but those are really nice hoodies. Like, they're really great.
I wanted to
hoodies.
win it. I'm gonna go buy one.
Right. Yeah, they are nice hoodies. So, and last but not least, the winner of the $100 Amazon gift card, the kickoff prize for this season's giveaways, is a Hall of Fame nominee. His name is Zuby. Congratulations to Zuby, the winner of the $100 Amazon gift card. Zuby taking down the big prize in this section of giveaways. But guys,
And that's real money, Zuby, not Canadian pesos.
yes. And with that, Specs offends an entire nation.
Easy.
And also, I think a second nation in there too. But I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Oh.
So congratulations to all of our winners, guys. We have so many awesome giveaways to come this season. Make sure to get those giveaway entries in. There's so many good giveaways. We had 420 giveaways here, or 420 giveaway entries. So even if you submitted like 40, it's still only a 10% chance of being drawn. So anyways, moving on. Get your giveaway entries in for this coming week. We do have a Tranquility shirt, a free shirt from the Tranquility store to be shipped to you, purchased by us here in the community. So make sure to get those giveaway entries in for this coming week. Tune in, get those channel points, help support the community by being here, and we will see you again next week here on the Iris Podcast. For everybody here, that's Specs, that's Triage, that's Beth, and that's Death Knot. I'm Mr. Yeti, and we will see you again next Monday here on the Iris.
Yeti can't do math.
Wing gang!
Experience tranquility. Pass into the iris.